Safety meeting, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Jim Skinner.
Present.
Okay, we have the minutes from the June 9th, 2025 regular meeting.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of June 9, 2025.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the claims right there that Carol's
Yes.
office got ready for us.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
I will second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, do we have any public comments? Nothing? Okay. Department reports, building services?
Yeah, just real quick, I played hooky at the last meeting. I was on the beach watching this meeting, take place. So, but anyway, May building permit report, total valuation for the month is $1.688 million. Our revenue we took in for May was just a shade under $5,000. Roofs still seem to be the hot item. Issuing still some new permits for homes. In the Riley lot, we have 6 lots that are left. In the Meadowbrook, we've permitted 10 houses, and as far as we know, there are 3 sold.
Okay,
And so
good.
we are still dealing with a couple blighted properties, some issues on kind of the northwest end of town, but we are waiting on some engineering reports and things like that before we proceed. So,
Okay.
Any
Thank
questions?
you. No.
Sure. Do you have an update on when the completion of the county building may be, that we get the sidewalks open back up? And
What we have heard and started out being mid-June, and here we are past that. I saw an email from Jordan Brewer that was addressed to someone, and they plan on occupying that now by the end of July. So hopefully we'll get some of it back before then, but right now, the occupying is looked like it's going to be toward the end of July. Anything else?
No,
Thank you.
I know. Okay, next we have the Parks Department. Are you everything tonight then?
I'm everything
Entertainment?
tonight, Jill. Good afternoon, guys.
Okay.
So the first thing I got for you guys is we're seeking approval to pay $5,500 for Canines in the Clouds for the 4th of July festival for 2 different shows, I believe. One is a water pool, yeah, for the pool for the water, or whatever that is, sorry, for the dogs. And then the other one is a grassy performing area.
I'll make a motion that we accept the performance contract for Canines in the Clouds for the 4th of July at the TPA Park, the amount of $5,500.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, you have that approval.
Okay. The next thing is just to ratify the seasonal part-time position that I have filling.
And you just had the one, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brandon Frazier is who it is.
Okay.
You say Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
And they already met everything you need to do?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion that Brendan Fraser be hired at the part-time level as a park superintendent request.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, you have approval for that as well.
Okay, and the last thing I have for you guys is the list of the animals that we are just rehomed, which would have been 2 fennec foxes, 3 muntjacks, 7 doves, 2 turkeys, 1 Moscow, 2 peacocks, 4 more doves, 4 cockatiels, and 1 silver fox.
And I believe those all went to Pipsqueakery, is that right?
I don't think the silver fox did. I think that's that one. I think an individual took that one.
7 and 2. Okay,
But the rest of them, yes, did go there.
okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the animals as presented tonight for rehoming that were presented to the fennec fox, 3 muntjac, 7 doves, 2 turkeys, 1 macaw, 2 peacocks, 4 additional doves, 4 cockatiels, and 1 silver fox.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Okay, Alicia, what do you have for us?
Okay, the first thing I've got is a demand letter to Aqua Blue. They did the winterization of the splash pad, and it did not get completed properly, so we are asking for a refund for the services that they provided. So I've got that letter and also their invoice, and then the invoices that we had for the repairs that we needed to make to it this spring once we figured out that that didn't work appropriately. So I'm just seeking your approval to send that demand letter out to them to get that refund.
I'll make a motion that the city attorney send that demand letter to get our refund.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Second thing I have is the Master Services Agreement amendment for the IU Health Clinic. We were able to get the same terms as last year for a 1-year contract to extend through next June. They needed to get that signed before June 20th so they could get their lease taken care of. So I just need that ratified. All of the terms are the same. They have a 4% cost of living increase, just like last year. It's a 1-year agreement, and then we can terminate for convenience by providing 90 days notice.
I'll make a motion that we accept the master services agreement for designated healthcare services between the City of Frankfort Board of Works and Safety and IU Health for the clinic for a 1-year contract.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Okay, that's passing.
All right. Next thing I've got for F&K Construction for the Meadowbrook subdivision, they had a bond, a performance bond for their grass for all the seeding for the first phase of their subdivision. Don and I worked together on this. He says that the grass has been seeded and completed, and so they have asked that we release that performance bond. So we do have a document from the Cincinnati Insurance Company. If you approve releasing the bond, then we'll just need to sign that and get that back to them so they can have that released.
And Dawn, you're okay with that? Did you have anything you would like to add?
As you well know, we've had to mow the grass out there because of the height. Phase 1 has been completed as far as putting the grass down. They actually came back about, I'd say 2-3 months ago to reseed it because we were having some issues with mud still getting into the storm sewers. But since they've reseeded it, it has grown very well, and I think that we're in pretty good shape in Phase 1.
Anyone have any questions?
I'll make a motion that we accept the surety bond on with F&K Construction on Meadowbrook subdivision, Phase 2, Section 1 seating as presented this evening.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
Mayor, I want to give you a little update of what's happening out at the Meadowbrook subdivision. There's some issues going on, a little bit of issue with the wetland area. It's retaining water, and it's a lot more than what they were anticipated. So they're about to bore underneath it. They have made contact with the DNR to make sure that that was okay. As long as they go underneath it, DNR is okay with the boring. If they would have had to cut through it, then they would have had to make out a report for DNR. So they're getting ready to actually put in a couple of, I guess you could say, storm sewer outlets to try to drain the western side of that pond as it's up a little, it's down a little lower than what they thought it was when they started their project. So that's why you see all the gravel, all the stone out there in the cul-de-sacs. Is they're going to be boring underneath that. They'll probably be doing that this week. They called about the ability to use water from the hydrants to be able to do their borings. So I think that you're going to see that that project will start this week to try to help drain that wetland area. A lot of concerns. Their concern is that it is growing, and two, their concern is that it'll start killing the trees if they don't get that down lower. So they're going to be working on that. Just wanted you to know that that would be going on here probably sometime this week.
Is that a plan, Don, that they think will take care of this issue and in continuation of, as that starts to?
They do. You know, I think one of the things that they didn't plan on was the height of that west side of the wetlands. Both cul-de-sacs now drain into that wetland area, and that, with all the rain that we've had, it's really made the wetland area larger. So they're going to try to drain that bad boy down, and I think they'll be okay. Basically, once we get all that taken care of, I'm to get the plans so that I can then pass that on to both Dan Sheets and to Dan Hart, so that they'll have those plans in the future to know how all that is going. It's actually going to drain to the second pond. You know, there's three ponds that are going to be in this subdivision. The second pond is the pond that's supposed to drain this wetland area. So when they put those inlets in place, then that water will drain to that pond. Then it'll drain to the big pond to drain into Man's Ditch. So it should be in all pretty good shape once they get all that done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay, last thing I have is a lease agreement for use of an area of Old Stony. Right now, it is being used by the Area Plan Commission. The county, Tom Little, asked me to work with him to prepare this. Once the annex building is completed, APC will move out of that space and they will move into the annex building, and they're wanting to move the prosecutor's office child support division into that space. So I used the lease agreement from the Area Plan Commission, and we prepared the lease very similar to what we had before. The only difference is that we don't know exactly what date they're going to move in yet, and we don't know exactly what date they want to terminate it yet, so I left that blank. And then they also have the option to, it'll be for a 9-month period, and then they might need to go longer if the county building, the current courthouse, doesn't get renovated quickly enough. So that's kind of what this is for, and it's the same terms other than the dates and going month to month after that 9-month period.
I'll make a motion that we have this lease agreement with the prosecutor's office for their child support division when it becomes time it's needed, and they'll be locked in for the 9-month period.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Jim Skinner.
Aye.
So Alicia, would we just wait and sign that when?
Yeah, since we
We
got it
know of
approved.
date.
Yeah, since we got it approved, we'll just wait to sign it and then fill in the dates once we know. I'm just gonna let Tom know that you all have approved it so that they can kind of plan on that, and that way they can prepare for their move and all of that good stuff. And then we'll get it approved by the county as well once we have more information. So.
Okay, does anybody else have anything? Brian? You have anything? Scott? Don?
With Tim Clark here, it reminds me, we're down to two items left to get inspected, the neighborhood center, and I forgot about Green Street Park. Everything else we have gone through. I know that Mr. Clark is working on putting all that information into our programs. Once we get that, our schedule was to be by July. Looks like we're going to meet that schedule. And then we'll have a meeting with all the ADA directors, and we'll go over each of their buildings to discuss what needs to be taken care of. It's been kind of an eye-opener for going through some of the buildings, but I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Are there some challenges? Yeah, restrooms are usually the biggest challenges that we have, but that can be moved down the line and put together as we get closer to the 20-year process. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit that can be taken care of very quickly at less cost, and but things are moving along pretty well, and hopefully in July we'll be able to have our meeting and let everybody know what's going on.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Kimberly? Nothing? Nobody has anything? Anybody have any unfinished business? Carol, you have anything?
I don't have anything.
New business? Okay, I'll take the motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here.